Ilia Topuria's brother Aleksandre Topuria will be making his UFC debut against Cody Haddon at UFC 312. Islam Makhachev scores over 100,000 on the punching machine. For reference, Alex Pereira scored 190,000.
Oh my gosh!
Bro!
Oh, 60,000.
He won.
He called it.
Okay.
He called it.
Okay.
Francis Ngannou says he doesn't care about the Jon Jones fight anymore. He also discusses his recent knockout loss to Anthony Joshua and says he felt like something unfair happened. In an interview with Seconds Out, Francis said, "It's been 4 years that I've been saying it. I'm confused that people keep asking me this question. It's been 4 years. That's not my problem. I don't care about it anymore. If it happens, yes. If it doesn't, f it." The rematch with Joshua, to be honest, I felt very off and not comfortable in that fight. It's something that could happen, but what I do know for sure is that I want a rematch with Fury. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I didn't like the Joshua fight. I think things wasn't right. Nothing wasn't right. And if it's going to be the same scenario, I'm not interested. Something unfair definitely happened. I don't have the full picture, but I've seen some things myself that wasn't right. I was in the locker room for almost 4 hours, for example, which is not something that happens in a fight. So just from there, not to mention the entire week. Robert Whittaker gives his take on the upcoming fight between Israel Adesanya and Nassourdine Imavov. Rob thinks that Dricus Du Plessis basically laid out the blueprint to beat Izzy, and Imavov does have the skills to win. However, he still believes Izzy will be the favorite.
You know what? I'd lean into Izzy being the favorite. He's so good at what he does, but Imavov's he's a bit of a dog. Like he can go the distance. You know, he can, and his striking is good. I can see him pushing the pace and pushing the pressure to try to make Adesanya make errors, much like how Dricus fought him, but probably with I can't say better stand up, because Dricus stand up lands, right? Just different type of stand up, a different approach. Is Imavov as tanky as Dricus, right? Because I think Dricus made like a really good blueprint on how to beat Adesanya. Got to make him uncomfortable and come at him. Got to go at him, make him stress. Don't give him space to play, sort of thing. And I think Imavov's got the skill set to do that, but I'd still lean in Izzy being the favorite. He can fight that counter style so well, and if you don't fall into his baits, into his traps, he'll pick you apart.
Tom Aspinall gives his thoughts on Ilia Topuria. Tom thinks he's going to do big things in 2025.
New champion, new face, new name. Ilia Topuria at featherweight, making all kinds of waves. Ilia Topuria is someone who has been around title contention for a long time, but going in there beating a great in the sport, Alexander the Great Volkanovski, a personal favourite of mine, someone who I know, someone who I look up to. He went in there and took the belt from Volkanovski. The belt changed hands in February, and then he came back again against Max Holloway, knocked him out. The guy who'd never even been dropped in the UFC before, with so many fights. So 2 legends he's beat there in a year. That is absolutely massive for the country of Spain, for the country of Georgia, for European MMA, for MMA and the UFC as a whole. New champion, new face, new name. Ilia Topuria at featherweight, making all kinds of waves in the division and across the UFC. Like, this guy, what he's going to do in 2025 is likely going to be even bigger than what he did in 2024, and a new guy in the featherweight division.
Tim Welch gives his take on Conor McGregor potentially boxing Logan Paul. Tim is leaning towards Conor winning, but isn't sure what version of Conor would show up.
So supposedly Logan Paul versus Conor McGregor in a boxing match is being talked about now, because the TKO group, who owns the WWE and the UFC, I think they kind of partnered up. And Dana White's always had a good relationship with Logan Paul. And last time I saw Logan, we saw Logan Paul at the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight and talked to him a bit. He was not near as huge as he usually is. Usually he looks like he's 210, 6'2", just yoked. This time he looked about 190, maybe
Really?
190.
Off the juice?
I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting fight, though. How many rounds is it going to be? 10 rounds, 10 3-minute rounds. Logan Paul's probably going to be bigger. I wonder what weight. Yeah, 185. Logan could probably make 180. Conor McGregor, it looks like he's walking around 85, 90. I think Conor would beat him. I mean, but you always think of Conor as the old Conor. So you think of his old skills.
He's a different bird now, for sure.
Kamaru Usman discusses a potential fight with Jack Della Maddalena. In an interview with Main Event TV, Usman said, "I've heard he wants to fight me. Who haven't I heard it from? I've seen a few interviews of him wanting to lobby for that fight, and that's great. If I'm in his position, that's what you do. You lobby for the biggest name in the division to get yourself to that next level. More power to him for doing that. At the end of the day, now it's my time. It's time for me to be honest with myself, and if I'm prepared to go in there and do that, absolutely. I've been through guys in this division. It doesn't matter who the guy is, as long as I'm prepared, and this vehicle is ready to go. I'll jump in there and put him to the test. February is a few months away, so I don't know. It's tough to say if I'll be ready." Daniel Cormier does not think Conor McGregor will box Logan Paul. In an interview with MMA Junkie, DC said, "We talk about impact. That right there tells you the impact of Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has told us a lot of things over the last 3 years. None of them have come to fruition. I'm going to have to see it to believe it. I think he's going to fight in the octagon. I think he has to, though. For Conor McGregor to, he's got to rinse some of that stench off of him from everything that's happened outside of the octagon, where he made his home inside that cage, and I think at some point he's going to have to get back there." John Anik, Ray Longo, and Kenny Florian discuss Colby Covington and the future of his MMA career. They're not sure if the interest to watch Colby fight will be there as much now that Colby is coming off 2 losses.
Right, and I know, Ray, you said his shtick that nobody cares about, right? And that is true in some part, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But Kenny, when we were sort of talking privately and Belal Muhammad wasn't able to fight and Ian Machado Gary versus Shavkat Rakhmonov came together and Covington was fighting Joaquin Buckley. Kenny, for you as an MMA fan and me, it's like, holy shit, dude, Covington's hadn't fought in a year. He's fighting Joaquin Buckley in Tampa, right? It's
right.
Feels like a big deal. So he moves some sort of needle for me as an MMA fan, even if at one point in time he came at my kids, you know.
Oh, forgot about that.
But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, Kenny, like, to what extent do you care about Covington? Because it seems like you and I care more about him than most of these sort of run-of-the-mill welterweights, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, well, I think either way, he's created this character, and people want to see him lose, right? And if that's the case, then people still want to see you fight. And I think for a lot of people, that is the case, whether they want to see him win or lose. But you know, obviously he's been a heel in the UFC for a while. He has played up that shtick well, and you know, I think I don't know how many more fights he has left in him, but one good sign is the fact that this guy is not going to quit inside that octagon. And I think when you see that, then you kind of know, okay, it is absolutely finished for him.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley says he was actually impressed with Belal Muhammad's boxing in the fight with Leon Edwards.
Yeah, even someone like Belal, just seeing how much skill, his head's so big. He's not like the fastest, most explosive guy. It seems like he's gotten faster and more explosive, but to see how skilled that dude is.
His boxing looks sick.
His
boxing looked good.
Striking his last fight versus
Leon.
He was out striking. I think it was still smart because he was shooting him, because he was shooting, but he was outlanding him, right? I thought so, at least.
No, he was for sure. He had a nice little shuffle uppercut. Like his boxing looked good. He did look good.
He just keeps beating good fighters and not getting the respect.
Yeah, I don't know why he gets so much hate.
Yeah, I don't either.
Alex Pereira had a meeting in Las Vegas today and appears to be happy how it went.
Olha o sorriso do garoto como que tá, né? Hein, Ed? Chama ou não chama? Chama. Estamos em Las Vegas, pô, agora voltando pra casa. Pô, muito satisfeito aí com a reunião. Bom, feliz demais, cara. Pô, essa reunião aqui. Conta ou não conta?
Não conta.
Ah,
não conta.
Espera um pouquinho mais, né?
Espera pouquinho mais.
Chama.
Israel Adesanya says the way Khamzat Chimaev ran through Robert Whittaker made him want to fight Khamzat. Izzy also discusses his upcoming fight against Nassourdine Imavov and how it's on a fight night and not a pay-per-view for the first time since 2017.
Does it feel strange to find yourself on a a fight night?
Nah, not at all. I think people, who said that to me as well? Someone said that to me yesterday, and I was like, nah, still get paid, you know. I still get paid. I'm still a referee. There's 2 of us in there. There's a crowd, so it's not like in the Apex or something. So it doesn't feel any different. Yeah, it's different. I'm like, oh my God, I must be eating in my life to be on a fight now. I was like, ew. It's a Saudi Arabia fight night. First of all, yeah. And I was like, I still get paid. I was surprised the way Khamzat ran through Rob. That was crazy. That was like, wow. That made me want to fight him. I was like, okay, this guy's actually really, really good.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Evian Fresh 14. It says, if John Jones don't fight Tom, he is fully gay. The second one says, and nobody said where's Schmitty. And the final one's from Star B. It says, O'Malley, Welch, and Shields. 3 dudes whose opinions I couldn't care less about. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.